just Wi-Fi. But once it catches up, it is lagging a little bit. But once it catches up, then we should be good. Let me see. What else can I close here? I'm going to close all that. I'm just closing stuff. I got to free up some bandwidth, you guys. I'm closing things.
Oh,
it might be because I had like multiple StreamYard windows open. Oh, look at this guy.
I was hoping. I tried to find you on Facebook to see who you were live with, and you're good. So we're good.
No, we got the full quadrant. My internet's a little laggy, and we're just gonna deal with it because that's just the life we're living here. It's weird that it's laggy.
You don't sound super laggy to me.
Just the camera.
My video looks laggy to me.
Oh, your video does.
But my sound isn't.
Good thing it's a radio show.
That's right. It's a radio show. It can go as sideways as we want it to. Maybe it'll catch up. Maybe it won't. Let me change it to public. Here's we're gonna institute a new segment as we get some people jumping on here. Give it a like, give it a share. Dan, cutest thing yesterday. Marty has her like food blog, her venison 365-ish. And yesterday I made for the first time. Well, now my screen's going all weird here. I'm like Sean. For the first time yesterday, I made wild turkey nuggets, and you like fry them, and then you put them in a pan with some heavy whipping cream, and it kind of like condenses, and then they're just freaking deliciously and not healthy at all. And so Danny was giving her review, and Marty was like filming her just like to be funny. And Danny's 8 and has like my kind of energy with 8-year-old vibes. And so Danny's like, hit the button with the thing, you guys, and that subscribes. And she did like all the stupid stuff that I do, but I'm like doing it to be funny. And she was doing it because she's like, I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do, but I think I've seen a social media video or two. And so I'm supposed to tell you to punch this or do that. And it was just freaking adorable. I was laughing so darn hard. But more importantly, the turkey nugs were off the hook. So here's what we got to do. We are officially in the back half of the year today. We got to get on the radio. That's what we need to do.
Yes.
I'm like, we missed last week, so I'm way off my game. Jai, you ready to make a radio show? You ready to turn this into a radio show? All right, I'm going to give you a signal here. You ready? Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Yeah, now it's a radio show. Michael couldn't be bothered to dance. That guy, you couldn't hit him hard enough with a stick to get him to dance. Look at him. He's no interest. Angela's doing all the dancing for everybody. Michael's not even acknowledging like he can hear that I'm making fun of him for not dancing. He's just keeping a dead straight face as if it wasn't even.
No, I had to turn. I admittedly had to turn my audio off. We just had something interesting happen. I can tell the story if you want.
I like stories.
Yeah, we like stories.
It's not a big deal.
No, we got to hear your story. The other story that we need to do today, as we get a few people on here, the new segment. This is gonna be a segment every time we do an episode, at least a Turf's Up episode. I think this will be fun on Turf's Up. We're gonna get emoji stories, and we'll come up with a theme. This week, I want like best July 4th story told via emoji, and then I'm gonna read your story during the show. So as we get more people coming on, I'm gonna like repeat myself like 20 times about that. But drop your best emoji story in. Whatever your story is, you need to tell it in emojis. And then I'm going to tell it via reading your emojis. And we'll see how I do. Michael, since you're on the show, you don't need to tell your story with emojis. You can just tell it verbally. But if you want to go into the comments and put it in emojis either before or after you tell it, that'd be fun too. So,
okay.
Good choice.
Same time.
Yeah. Same time would be hard to do. That'd be super hard to do. You're super talented. I don't know if you're that talented. To like tell a story and type the emojis at the same time. That's some That's some multitasking right there.
Yeah, I'll just tell it.
Yeah. Hit us with it. What you got going?
So, we do a lot of Yelp ads for clients, and we had somebody log into the master portal and change every single client's billing to their credit card. And we caught it, but not before they spent $20,000.
Oh man, this was a client that was like, "Hey, everybody."
They made a mistake. This was all them. Somebody like just going above and beyond, thinking they're doing something great. And
maybe it's just like a pay it forward sort of thing. Maybe they're just trying to
everybody, you get a car, you get free ads, you get like anyway, that literally just happened.
Get in here and buy y'all some Yelp.
So when I was not paying attention, I was listening to this audio message about what just happened.
That's funny. That'll be really interesting to watch the shakeout. Maybe on the episode. So first I got to introduce our panel here. We got Sean Day from Higher Lead Chill. We got Angela Schroeder, Unique Genius VAs, and we got our boy Michael Gregory from Click Call Sell, who you just heard from. They're dishing out free Yelp advertising at Click Call via one of their other clients. And myself, Dan Plata, Best Damn Bookkeeping. Coming up, I think I've mentioned this, but we officially have a sponsor coming up. We got to cross the T's and dot the I's, but maybe July yet, maybe early August, we will have a official show sponsor other than, and as always, brought to you by Higher Lead Chill, Unique Genius, Click Call Sell, Best Damn Bookkeeping, the people like on here that bring you some badass content and hopefully some funny content as well, like 20 grand getting racked up on somebody's credit card. I love that. Angela, I did this. I don't think anybody else was on the episode when we did this. And this was like 3 or 4 months ago, but we teed up a storytelling series and we never came back to it. The world started going fast, things happening, other topics came up. They're back to storytelling.
We did it to give away a sales boost ticket. That's how we decided who was getting the sales boost ticket, who told the best story with emojis.
We did that, and we're going to bring that back. But we also had an episode where we were just pondering different frameworks of stories and different topics of stories. And I have it written down somewhere, all the different types of stories. And then we'll have episodes focused on those types of stories. So you can write in, you can chime in the comments, you can jump on and tell the story with us. But I'm going to bring that back. I got to get her organized in terms of what types of stories we want and try to create episodes around it. But we're going to bring back the storytelling series, kind of like, I don't know, was this last year or 2 years ago? We did the P&L via storytelling, and we went through what's all in your profit and loss. And we all told stories about all the shit that's in the profit and loss. It'll be kind of like that, just way less organized and financially focused. After all, this is home service happy hour. It's happy hour. It doesn't need to be organized. All that said, one more announcement, which is we got the recruiting webinar series rolling right now. Sean Day is the man. He's the talent. I'm just the host. But we've done 2 episodes so far. If you haven't checked those out, just put in the comments. We can drop the webinar links in here. The first one was all about researching your labor market. We did okay at keeping the timing on that one kind of down. The second one was on crafting a good job ad. And that one I got carried away. So that one ended up being longer than we intended on it to be, but that's kind of my nature. Our third one is coming up next week, I believe Tuesday, and we can drop that link in
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we switcherooed that one.
Yep.
So next one's next Wednesday, and that one's going to be all about filtering applicants. So if you do good labor market research and you write a good ad and you boost the way you should get a ton of applicants. And a ton of applicants is a problem if you don't have a good way to filter them. So we're going to teach people how to filter applicants so that you don't have to spend time looking through hundreds of, crappy Indeed resumes. The fourth one, I might take more of the lead on, and that's going to be on doing group interviews. And I'm super passionate about that. It's so efficient, works awesome, but there's a rhyme and a reason of how to do it. And so I'm going to teach the way that I do it to get really good results with it. And then the last one will be all about building up your hopper, maintaining your culture so that when you hire a bunch of people, you don't lose them because you suck, right? It doesn't do any good to go hire a bunch of people and you be a shitty leader and then you can't keep them. And then you're like, what's the point of hiring all these people because I suck at growing a business? So we got to teach the business owner how to keep people on their team. and how to build a hopper so that they can keep keeping people on their team. So the last video is going to be all about that, more of the employee retention stuff, because that's what's fun. That makes your life easier as business owners. So check out the recruiting webinar series. I will drop that link for the next one in the comments here during the commercial break. That's what I'm going to do it. Jai, remind me to drop the link in during the commercial break. Got it.
I can drop it in right now.
Look at, yeah. I don't even do it. It's somewhere out there in the StreamYard. It's out there.
I got it.
But here's the deal for today, guys. It is July 10th when we're recording this. We are officially, somehow I feel like we were just talking about the spring rush, and now we are smack dab in the summer lull, and we're in the back half of the year. We are halfway through 2024. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that like COVID was now 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that kind of blows my mind. Like that feels like it was all yesterday, and that's pretty distant at this point. And the world shows it, right? Like the goofy demand that came after it, and the weird recruiting labor markets that came after it. We're settling back into like more of a normal world, and a lot of my bookkeeping clients are kind of scared by it because we don't have this crazy demand that we had the last few years. Things kind of like settled back to normal. And so you got to be like, customers don't just show up, and employees aren't impossible to find anymore. We're back to like a normal market. Charity said summer lull, question mark. And it's just this, it's perpetually, and I see this. I'm curious, you guys comment on this too, Sean, Angela, Mike. The bigger the business is, the more it seems like they experience a summer lull. Like for solo operators, generally, because their business is oftentimes a lot of just referral based clients, they don't see as big of a dip in the summer. With our business, the bigger it got, especially exterior cleaning, like as we approached $100,000 months in June, July would be like 50 maybe. And as we got to 200,000, July would be 100,000 maybe. And it always seemed like damn near a 50% drop. The bigger we got, the bigger the drop was. Like the floor doesn't go up as fast as the ceiling does. We could always do more in May and June. And we could always hire more people and create more revenue in May and June. But it's always been really hard to lift the floor of the summer months. Have you guys seen similar things with the clients you work with that like their business monumentally changes from May, June? And I'm in Northern Tier. I'm in Minnesota. So it's different if you're in Florida, different if you're in Arizona or something like that. But have you guys seen that too? Like the bigger the company, the more the swings in demand seem from like a percentage basis.
I would say, yeah, go.
I went.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious because I didn't call on anybody, and all three of you literally waited like 1,000, and you like all three of you all literally talked at the same time. It was freaking awesome.
That's going to be a clip. Everyone talked at the same time.
So industry matters, location matters, and also customer type, client type. I just started coaching this 19-year-old kid from Virginia. Awesome. All of his business that he's done in the first year he's opened up is commercial work. Commercial work doesn't have the same volatility that residential does in exterior cleaning or landscaping. So it really depends on what your target audience is and what the demand cycle and season is. But yes, I have another client in Canada that will go from 5 to 200,000 back down to 50,000 in the summer months. So it's just like this. The way you stop that is to move some of those bigger jobs into the slower months or make more relationships with commercial contracts so that you can do more work in the summer. But yeah, the volatility is real. It's there. If you own a service company that has big swings, my suggestion is to get really, really good at hiring and training and onboarding, because it's not, unless you get into commercial work, there's nothing you can do to get the same amount of work and demand in spring as you do in the dead of summer.
Yep. One of the things, and there's a few things that we have tried that have all worked in different degrees. Some of them now I'll say, but it's already too late to do them. But now you'll know it for next year. which is trying to pull, and Michael, you already kind of said it, but trying to pull some demand forward or backward. We know in May and June we're going to be as busy as we can possibly be. And so if people are calling, we offer them a summer price if they're willing to wait until July or August. They still need to make a deposit so that they lock in their spot on the schedule. But when we're super, super busy, we'll let them opt to get it done later if they don't have like an event or a specific timeline to get it done. Obviously, it's too late now to do that. The other piece of data I've seen in tracking this for a decade in our businesses, and I see it in a lot of our clients. Michael, again, I'm super curious your thoughts on this because you're watching marketing data, but I tend to see lead flow goes down in the summer. Just people have in general, people out there searching for our services goes down. And I see that in maid service. It slows down a little bit. Exterior cleaning, it for sure does. Lawn care, obviously, it for sure does. Landscaping. So the digital clicks go down, but their propensity to buy doesn't. I don't see a change in close rates, just in lead flow. And so that tells me it's not that they're not willing to buy. They're just too busy to search. It's just not top of mind because they got vacations and they got kids home from school. And so the routine, day-to-day routine changes. So they aren't thinking about this project or that project they need to get done. They're thinking about this vacation and that kiddo event. And like my kids are at camp this week and then they're at grandma and grandma's next week. And then, so your brain's working on all that stuff, not, oh, I need to get this project done in July here when we're trying to like enjoy our backyard or whatever. But again, their propensity to buy hasn't changed. The close rate hasn't really changed. So supplementing a lot of marketing with boots on the ground stuff, door knocking, yard signs, door hangers. I love letters on doors. I'm like, I always beat that like a dead horse, but I think a door letter is better than a door hanger. But anything where you can go get them, right? They might not be searching for you, but you can go get them. And then you still need to have a great digital footprint to bring them back to, right? You still need a great website that converts. You still need to have a really good Google presence because they're not just going to buy because you put a letter on their door. They're going to go search you, but at least you're triggering them to go search. I'll shut up now. First, Michael, hit me with your thoughts or comments or data that you've seen on that. And then Sean and Angela, give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so the seasonality trend is there. I mean, it's called spring cleaning for a reason. I mean, it's a thing. It's cold winter, everything gets opened up. You want to plant your garden, you want to get your house clean inside, outside. That's why demand skyrockets. Again, summer, a lot more things happen during the summer season where people aren't as focused on the cleaning maintenance of their house because that most of the time it was done earlier in the year. What happens for service companies, though, and this is really valuable, is everybody's hungry over the wintertime, unless you are in like Miami or Phoenix or something like that. For the most part, the seasonality is the same for 95% of the country. So everybody's starving in January, February, March until the grass starts growing and algae starts blooming, whatever, right? So in the beginning part of spring, when demand starts to pick up, everybody's answering their phone, everybody's got capacity, everybody's just dying to get back to work. And everything fills up really quick. What happens is the smaller companies, the owner operators, truck in a truck, whatever, they get full. They drop out of the game. And so by week 5, 6 of the busy season, they're fat and happy. They've got their one truck full for 3 months and they're like, I'm done. And then it makes the larger companies that have systems, processes in place be able to execute through the spring season. But what happens
that's a good point as to why you see such a huge spike with bigger companies because they'll staff up for that. Yep. The base load of the solo operators will take a bunch of market, but it only takes so much. The influx of the demand gets consumed by the bigger operators that scale up for it. Exactly. Which explains why the bigger you get, the bigger you drop.
And even in the very beginning of the season, if you go back and look at your closing percentage in like early March to early April, like that 30 days, your closing percentage drops a little bit because everybody has the opportunity. Everybody's there. People are answering their phone quickly. They're getting to the jobs faster. But in May, June, those people are full. So it's a little bit easier to close those jobs in the tail end of the busy season. But then something amazing happens. Like right now, it's starting to happen. By August, it's full on. Is that all those people that were fat and happy in May and June, they start to their schedule gets dried up. So now you have this difference between demand goes down between 30 and 80%, depending where you're at in your industry, goes down, and all these people are flooding back into the market. So you've got all these people advertising now, and for half the demand that you normally had, and it makes everything get more expensive. So if you are advertising in the summer months, this is when you get your deals. This is when you have your stronger call to actions. This is when you really need to be more aggressive with your marketing, because there's not as many people searching because of everything I just explained. So you just got to be able to play the seasonality and know when you're going to get busy, when you slow down, to stay ahead of it, and then keep it going as far as you can.
Heck yeah. Sean, Angela, you guys got anything to add to that?
No, go, Sean. Everything Michael said was brilliant.
Underscore. Ditto. I can say I literally am thinking the exact same thing as he's saying it, but on the recruiting end. We talk in January and February. That's when demand isn't as high for labor. People are waiting on the sidelines until the last minute to get to catch up with spring. Smaller companies aren't really even thinking about hiring anybody. If they're going to hire their one guy, it's like always last minute type of thing. So it's the same thing. It costs less to get your labor because the demand isn't as high in January and February to get souped up for spring. And we slow down in the summer months. Our clients typically do. We do have a number of clients that I love that are trying to get over that $250,000, $500,000 hump. So they're just hiring one or two a year, and that's fine. We'll do that all day long. But just to Michael's point, they're booked, man. They're booked solid. They're not even thinking about marketing, and so the larger companies are just recruiting all year long up until probably November or something like that.
We're gonna get back to this, but I had coaching calls today with lighting folks, so they're going to be throwing holiday lights up, but it's really still 2-3 months out before holiday lights start going up. And I was just reminding them, and I know we're not going to talk about this on the recruiting webinar series. So right now is when you're going to hear it, which is if you need to recruit for the fall, like right now is the time to start. It's the same reason you would start finding your marketing company and figuring out your ad cadence for the spring in January and February. And the same reason you should start recruiting for the spring in January and February, not wait till March, April, May when you start getting busy, that you should really start doing the recruiting for the fall right now. So you know who you're going to pick. And we're going to get back to that a little bit. When we start talking about the things you need to do right now for the back half of the year, that's one of them. Angela, you got anything else to add on the seasonality topic before we zig? This is a great comment. You guys are the smartest. I don't know. That comment cracks me up though.
So I agree with what you said. So excited about that next time. Like now is the time, Christmas people. Like right now. Not like, oh, let's plan to gear up in August. It's like right now. Like you're already late. The people that are ahead in the Christmas business are already talked to Sean. And Michael
already getting their VA. They're already getting their VA squared away
in place. But you talked about it a little bit, like mentioned now is the time for door knocking. Like right now, people aren't going out and looking for you. So you have to go out and look for people. If you're slow, like you still have to, you cannot have this like defeatist attitude, like, oh, well, you might not survive. That's the difference in, there's some home service businesses that don't survive this season, summer lull. And the difference in how strong you come out of it is to either just sit back and say, oh, it's the summer lull, what everyone's doing. Everyone has the summer lull. Let's just sit back and do nothing. Now's the time. And exactly like you said, like you still need to keep your marketing, all of your digital presence and reputation there, but people aren't looking for you. So you have to go out and sell.
You got to go get in front of them.
Go make calls, the things that you don't like to do, like the hard, ugly of the business of going out and searching for customers. You got to make that business happen, and you still can. People will still pay for it. They're just not searching for you. You can offer some kind of deal to keep your crews busy and keep your cash flow going in your business. You just have to go grind it.
To exactly that, a couple weeks ago, I was doing my coaching thing, and one of my coaches was kind of feeling beat down. The demand was lagging, right? And he's got holiday lights coming up, but really needs like something on the schedule between now and then. but almost was like kind of just of the mindset of like throwing in the towel and just starting to get ready for holiday light season. And so just encouraging them to like go boots on the ground stuff, right? Over the even over the week of July 4th, where like you shouldn't even be able to sell anything to anybody. Nobody should be around, right? Nobody would buy anything. It's preposterous that there'd be somebody at home willing to buy something. He just went out and threw some letters around, and just in neighborhoods he's already cruising through, and does landscape lighting and holiday lighting, and picked up like 3 landscape lighting leads and some really valuable relationships, literally just because he was out moving. Like they weren't coming to him, right? They weren't searching for him. They didn't even know he existed. He literally just was out in their neighborhoods making shit happen. And so especially in the summertime, that is the move. And as we all know, like it doesn't need to, and our buddy Josh Latimer always says, like, massive imperfect action. It doesn't need to be the perfect activity. You just got to keep moving. If you're sitting still and you're not out moving around, nothing going to happen. You got to be out moving around, doing stuff. What do we got here? Joe said that's why I rent kayaks July and August. Slammed on the kayak.
I have a video that's coming out about this. I recorded it on Monday. Jai is going to be editing it. I think it's going to go on TikTok, though. I don't feel like it's a business Facebook post. But I found this in the last 10 years of my life. And I think most people that own a small business can relate if they've had some success in their business, to where if anybody goes back 10 years and compares what their life was like 10 years ago relative to now starting their business, I would say 9 out of 10 or more are better off today than they were when they first started their business. And at least for me, what I've noticed is you kind of get into this comfort, this complacency. You settle into this little pocket of success. You have more than you've ever had. You've got a team. You've got enough money. You've got kind of everything just working out, like that summer, right? You're fat and happy. You just kind of lull and you sit back. And it's what drives you to continue to move forward, right? Because you're thinking in the moment, like in this moment right now, I'm all good. But put yourself 6 months from now, when you know you're going to be back in $10,000 in debt because it's January, and you got to wait till spring comes again. So what is it that gets people to get out of that pocket of comfort and that complacency? Because right now in this moment, I'm good, but it's not about now. It's about the next 10 years and what I'm going to be building. And I feel like that's where at least I've struggled with lately, and where I see a lot of my coachees and people I coach in the Conquer program really struggle with is, I'm good. Like, my business is going good. I got employees. I'm happy. Like, how much do I really want?
Yep. I always struggle with that too, because I think there's a double-edged sword there of which set of problems am I capable of handling right now. There's times when we should go hard at growing our business, and there's probably times where we should perfect what we have now and just get more profitable at where we're at now, not focus on growth, but focus on systems and processes. The business tends to grow itself if we run it right. Mm-hmm. But there's different times, and especially when you have kids and all that sort of stuff, like priorities change. And so there's different times to push on growth and different times to push on systems and processes and slow down the growth a little bit so you can actually get really good at running what you have. We got to take a commercial break. I want to get back and read Zig's comment because I read it and it's hilarious. And so if you listen to this podcast later, you're going to have to hear it. But Jai, play us into a little commercial action. We gotta give love to the Turfs Up Radio sponsors, and we'll be right back with a little more home service hat. Jai, you there? Jai, there it is. There we got some tunes. Angela's dancing. Now we going. We'll be right back with a little more home service happy hour. Don't go nowhere.
Landscapers, had enough of disjointed and outdated software? Upgrade to Aspire and say goodbye to estimating, scheduling, and routing frustrations. With Aspire, it's smooth sailing. Work orders? Handled. Mobile access? Done. Invoicing, payments, and real-time reporting? It's covered. Aspire's got your back. Why settle? You deserve software that works just as hard as you do. Learn more at youraspire.com. That's youraspire.com.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
True Fuel is a high-octane fuel precision-engineered for your 2- and 4-cycle equipment. They use the most advanced synthetic lubricants and stabilizers in an ethanol-free fuel, improving performance, protecting your equipment, and saving you time. That means easier startups, smoother idling, and quicker trigger response, plus extended life for all of your equipment. True Fuel is ready to use and easy to store, helping your operations be more efficient and reducing maintenance costs. We at Turfs Up use True Fuel because we know it works and we know it's the best option. Check out TrueFuel50.com to learn more. That's TrueFuel50.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, here's to all the women in the green industry. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Angela's not over there, so I'm dancing.
Nice.
Even with my little bit of leggy video. Where's Jai when you need him? This is Jai's song. There you go. Yeah,
there he is.
Told you. Got it. You got it. Now Angela's back. There you go. Now we know. All right, I gotta hit Zig's comment here because that just had me cracking up. We got some Joe Devono in the house. What's up, Joe? I'm gonna put it up on the screen, even though that'll take up half of the screen and cover up Michael and Angela's videos. Zig says our July is so dead it's scary. And like I said, the bigger you get, the weirder that gets. And Michael, I think you hit it on the head as to kind of how that shakes out. And this year's probably even a little goofier with the election and the economy and stuff. Like a little, like I said, it's not like slow, but it's not as fast as the last 3 years of crazy inflated post-COVID demand. So it's just a little scarier. Zig says, boots on the ground is where I'm going. Going to drop the signs and start passing out flyers again. Calling old customers. And I dismiss this as even marketing because that's just table stakes to me, which is when you're starting the busy, like before it gets busy, but when you're just starting up the season, and then the minute the busy season ends, that is when you start hitting up that client list. And that's what your CRM is for and why you keep all that data. And it's the same on the recruiting side. Right now, we're kind of talking more about the customer side, but it's no different, which is you keep all those people in there and you see how you can help them out when things slow down. So calling old customers, July and August, totally. He did. And I like this too, weather related stuff. So Zig said, I did a voicemail blast about gutters today because it's been raining for 12 hours. Haven't sold any gutters, but I did get some customers sold on other things because of it. And it's just it's the same thing I talked about earlier, which is like, just keep moving, just keep doing stuff. Zig said, I'm seriously thinking about lights now. I have no clue how to do that. I need to do some in-person training. Now you have to read all this, ... And I did. See? There, Zig. I can read good. For a numbers guy, I can read pretty damn good, actually. Lights are, especially when you do more washing, and washing slows down into October, lights make a ton of sense. Ton of sense. Joe Devon says it's finding the pockets of wants per the season. For sure. The pocket of my want is like it's fishing season. I think Joe can relate to that. Joe says Jan to March, gutters. March to July, washing. Kayak rentals summer, Xmas lights fall, all offered entire season with landscape lights and weddings. Maintenance plans that pay monthly also work great. Rarely sitting around during the year. Dryer vents, easy sales to make quick money if you are slow. And I think that's it. Now the trick is there's a few nuances to it too, which is when you're smaller, it's a little bit easier to do more things because you're more hands-on. As you continue to scale, you have to find the right people to run the different divisions because you get spread too thin. So making sure that you have the right people to go out and do that thing versus start up this thing and execute that thing. I see people, it tends to be that when you're small, you do everything. And as you start to get bigger, you like narrow down to just like one or two things. And then as you get closer to $1 million, you start branching out because now you have people that can run the core business And now you can start training people and investing your time to develop other things. But it's really hard to add on services. Ask Sean Day and I about this for the last 8 years of our lives. Add on services when you're doing like 300 to 700,000. Real tricky to add on services there because you're the one adding everything on. You don't have the people in your little micro businesses that know how to develop a business model. So Zig, that's you with holiday lights, right? There's nobody on your team that you can be like, hey, go start a holiday light business. Like you going to be starting a holiday light business if you want to get into holiday lights. Eventually your business grows to the point where you can say, hey, Sean, go start a recruiting company. And Sean's like, yeah, I can do that because you got the right people. Early on, as you're scaling the business, it's a lot trickier to be able to do that. Charity says Dan's just going to go fishing or hunting the beginning of each month. Yeah, really like any month end stuff. Now I like recording the videos too much. I still get to record some videos. They haven't kicked me out of recording month end videos for our clients. So I just might do it from a boat or a tree stand sometime. That'll be a good video.
That'd be good.
Now, I want to hit on this because I have run enough businesses for long enough that I've screwed up a bunch of things. And the back half of the year, if executed well, and like in a lot of cases needs to be executed well, like you can crush it. But you can also like fall on your face and not stack up money in your war chest for the winter. Did I get glitchy there? I sounded glitchy on my end. Yeah. Do I need to repeat myself? Did I say anything cool?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't remember what I said. So just keep nodding and pretend like I said something cool.
Back half of the year.
So what did I say? It was something cool.
War chest.
Yeah. So there's a huge opportunity in the second half of the year, but if you don't, especially if you're farther north and you know you're going to be shut down for a few months, if you don't take advantage of it, like you can really be in a bad spot going into winter. If the farther south you are, the less of a concern that it is. But it's a monumental opportunity for all of us to bank up the war chest, which allows us to invest in new things, maybe kayak rentals if you're hanging with Joe. But whatever it is that you're going to get into, like banking up that money and building a war chest in the fall is huge to either survive the winter or expand in the winter and get into the next thing. I've screwed up a lot of stuff in Q3 and Q4 over the years. And so I want to hit on some of the stuff and Sean, Angela, Michael, bring up anything that you guys are seeing too. But let's hit on some of the stuff that goes wrong in Q3 and Q4 that causes people to maybe not crush it and not enjoy their winter with a bankroll, being able to invest in growth for the next year. I'll start, and this one's probably going to tee Sean up, and he's going to roll with this one. But back to what I said about my coaching earlier, and we knew this, and it's still frustrating. We would just not recruit soon enough. Like we knew we needed more people for the fall, and we would religiously wait till like mid-August. And I don't know why. We knew better. It's just one of those things. It's like even sometimes when you know better, you still suck at it and you like come up with excuses. And that was just like over and over again in our window cleaning business primarily. It wasn't as much in maid service because that was like year-round recruiting. But in window cleaning, when we know we need to ramp up for the fall, stupidly, we would wait till mid-August and then we just wouldn't have the best applicants. We would reactively hire. We'd turn people over and over again because we didn't hire the right people. And we would never be able to get to all of our leads in the fall. We always paid for leads that we couldn't actually serve. And it always stemmed back to being short-staffed compared to what we really needed to be able to execute the amount of demand that was out there. Sean, I'll leave it to you to expound on that. My blood's already boiling.
I'd start with, how do we define recruiting? I think recruiting doesn't equal hiring. I think those are two completely separate things. I think recruiting, in my view, is the beginning or the process of building relationships with job candidates in your labor market. And when we're building relationships, you know, I tend to think we do it over a couple of weeks, over a month's period. That's what a relationship takes, at least. something like that when you're talking marketing, when you're talking recruiting. We treat recruiting and hiring so transactional. It's just throw something on Indeed, get all this shit coming in, and let's choose the first good one we see. There's no relationship. It's just like this boom, boom, boom. And of course you're going to wait to the last minute because you can get somebody in a week and then, and it's normally that first decent one that comes across the table. That's not the best one. It's not the cream of the cream of the cream of the crop, as you
Cream
say.
of the cream of the cream of the crop. That's like that's like an old crisscross rap. I'm pretty sure crisscross wrote that in a rap song back in the
That's
day.
right. So I would just say there's no too early of a time to build a relationship with people that are going to produce tens of thousands of dollars for your business. That's all. That's recruiting. And then when it comes time to hiring, all you got to do is say, okay, I just built a relationship. I had them come in. I did some screening. I did an interview. I'm going to hire you. Can you wait until September 1st to start? Can you wait till, and this is happening now. And we've got some clients actually doing that in the Christmas light business, and they're going to crush it. They're going to absolutely crush it. If you look at it like a waiting list of employees ready to go to work for you, you've already gone through the relationship. You've already gone through the interview, and you just look at those people and they're just waiting to go and produce, $50,000 for you, $100,000 for you, each of those people. What are you waiting for? Why is that such a transactional thing? To me, it's a relationship.
The last person I brought on and the next person I'm bringing on, I had interviewed them back in the winter and stayed in touch. And when I interviewed him, I said, hey, I can't bring you on right away, but we're growing like crazy. I know I'm going to need you at some point in time. And when I reach out to you, or you stay in touch with me, well, let's hope that it's the right time. If it's not the right time, that's cool. Go get whatever job you need to go get. But if it sucks, I'm still going to stay in touch with you. And there will be a day where you work here and you're going to freaking love it. And then you work here for the rest of your life. It doesn't need to be next month. It doesn't even need to be this year, right? I'm going to do, if you're doing holiday lights, like I'm going to do holiday lights again next year. And maybe this year it doesn't work out, but now next year to plan on working for me come September. And so let's start talking about this now. I had this conversation again, back to my coaching groups. I had this conversation with my coachees, which is you're just never going to regret having a bankroll of awesome candidates. You will always regret reactively hiring shitty employees. And to what you said, Sean, hiring somebody because they're good enough. I've done plenty of that. I'm not saying that I haven't done that. I just learned my lesson after doing it 1,000 times. But man, it changes everything when you're hiring proactively and you're literally picking from the cream of the cream of the cream of the crop. It just makes business a whole lot more fun. And you can stay engaged with them, right? Not everybody you interview and recruit is going to come work for you immediately. That's totally fine. Like you said, Sean, recruiting and hiring are two different things. Hiring is just it's the same as bookkeeping and taxes. Not the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing as hiring and recruiting. Recruiting is the thing that you do all year to hire the right people when you need the right people. Bookkeeping is the thing that you do all year, and taxes you just do once a year to make sure the IRS is squared up. But they're two, bookkeeping versus taxes, two totally different things. Recruiting versus hiring, two totally different things, and they do get convoluted. I think you hit that on the head.
It's going to be less expensive too. To Michael's point earlier, because there's less demand, less businesses recruiting at that time for seasonality. They're waiting.
I mean, especially right now, right? If you wait until September to start recruiting, so does everybody, because everybody's hiring for the holiday season. Like whether it's restaurants, warehouses, shipping, whatever. Everybody needs a shitload of employees for November, December. Yeah. And so if you wait to start recruiting in September, you're going to pay 3 times as much for all those clicks. It's just a guarantee.
Such an amazing point. You should talk about that more often.
Totally should. I mean, we have that data we haven't talked about that a lot in the summer months, but I know, Sean, you've talked about that for Jan and Feb. It's like
for sure.
The cost per click to get awesome candidates in January and February is exponentially lower than March, April, May, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And now it dips back down here in July because not as many people are recruiting. People are searching. And the sooner you get out there, the better candidates you're going to get and the cheaper you're going to get them for. You need a good recruiting system. And that's why you should check out the recruiting webinar. I did. That link is out there. Jai posted it on Facebook. I posted it on YouTube. Check that out. Jai, we got to take one more commercial break here. Give some love to the Turfs Up sponsors, and then we'll be right back with a little more home service happy hour right here on Turfs Up Radio. Dance us out of here, Angela. Close out this segment to the next segment. We'll see you in a couple minutes. I'm thirsty. I'm having a drink.
Get ready to abandon gas with Crest Commercial. With insane power and extreme longevity, the era of batteries trailing behind gas engines is over. With the Crest revolutionary 8-minute cyber system, Crest Commercial landscape tools provide the same power and performance as their gas-powered counterparts, as much as a 2-stroke engine. Plus, the Crest 60-volt CyberPack batteries charge in 8 minutes or less. Professional landscapers can finally make the switch to battery without sacrificing performance, power, or runtime. Crest, it's the only choice to replace gas. For more information or to find a dealer near you, visit Crest.com.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy-efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
Having issues with your maintenance schedule? Want better routing and ability to track your vehicles when they leave the shop? Do you want to reduce your liability exposure with your vehicles that are moving billboards on the road? GPS Fleet Consulting uses cloud-based dashcam monitoring and can easily track your vehicle maintenance using real odometer readings. GPS Fleet Consulting can also assist you with live phone support and email support with guaranteed same-day responses. Yes, same-day responses. Stop wondering where your trucks are and start managing your fleet with GPS Fleet Management Systems. For more information, visit gpsfleetconsulting.com. That's gpsfleetconsulting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Oh, baby. We back. If my video wasn't so glitchy, you would be able to tell that I'm doing this with the beat. But instead, I look like I'm behind the beat, and I'm just that bad of a dancer, which I am that bad of a dancer, too. So don't be fooled, or don't be unfooled by the foolery. Let me say this. Jai, thanks for the reminder. Go check out our other socials. Get over to that YouTube channel. Hit the thing with the thumb, or wait, that's not a thumb. Is there a heart over there? There's either a thumb or a heart or a bell. It's subscribe and a bell. There's things. You guys will figure it out when you get there. Go subscribe to the YouTube so you get the little bites if you can't catch the whole episode. And for the love of God, go out and join the podcast. Follow it. Different platforms do different things. I think you can subscribe or follow the podcast. Go check out the Home Service Happy Hour podcast. So if you don't get to hang out with us live on here, you still get all the goods. And that's cool for my future sponsors. So I can tell them like, hey, we have more people that follow the podcast. That's like good for them and makes them want to sponsor us. I'm super pumped to have a sponsor, by the way. That's going to be super fun. We got Instagram. We got TikTok. We probably got Tinder too. Are we on Tinder? Are we on Tinder, Jai? Can we swipe right on Home Service Happy Hour?
That's a different platform, man.
Do we have a OnlyFans account for Home Service Happy Hour? Like people just watch. People just watch us.
And my wife is listening to this. You got to stop.
My wife probably is too, and she's probably just like, yeah, this is just Dan being an idiot. So par for the course. I like to set a low bar that I can step right over. That's my vibe. So let's do this thing. I want to talk a little bit more about just things that I've screwed up in the past going into Q3, Q4, where I think maybe I can like save you guys some heartache and panel do the same here. Joe, farmers only. Is there a outdoors persons only? Like, I'm not a farmer, but I pretty much live outside. Which I guess it doesn't matter to me because I'm already stuck with Marty. She's stuck with me. And that was a good. We actually met on Match.com, believe it or not. I don't know why she chose to wink at me or whatever the hell you do on Match.com, because my whole profile was just me with dead deer and dead fish pictures. She's the weirdo, clearly. Like, yeah, I'm weird, but she's even weirder for picking me. My favorite joke used to be like I thought about having to break up with her because clearly she's got a couple screws loose. Like the fact that she's even willing to marry me makes me question her judgment. So I think I need to break up with her. I didn't though, because we're here, you know. Let's hit Cole's comment. I'll stop being an idiot. Cole says diversifying services is great as long as you stay in your lane of capabilities. Wouldn't expect my plumber to offer tax services, but that would be cool if they did. Hell, I advise people to use a different bookkeeper than a CPA. Even those are two totally different skills. And it's good to have them cross-check each other, right? So I agree. You got to be careful when you add on other services. They got to be complementary. They got to be trainable to the same crew, and they can't overlap each other, right? Part of the reason why Holiday Lights works for quite a few folks in our home service spaces is because their business is shutting down at that time. So they have tons of capacity. If you're in pressure washing and you're far enough north, you're basically shutting down, and therefore you get like another month or two of good revenue. And it tends to be like a catalyst to people getting into landscape lighting or event lighting or something else. And they get into that because now they got Holiday Lights and they need to supplement that, right? But you're adding things that use the same skill set, are easily trainable to the same crew. You don't want to add stuff where your crew that you have needs to be like experts in 4 things. That's why I tend to see when it's just you or you and a helper, you do 10 things. And as you scale, you get back down to like 2 things because you got to train a bunch of 20-year-old kids how to do them. And then as you get bigger and some of those 20-year-old kids get to 25 or 30 years old and they understand it and they can start a division, then you can start adding more things where you can be like, hey, man, you're running this business now. You let me know when you need help. I'm going to be over here running this thing and growing this thing. So I think you're totally right, Cole. I think diversifying services is great, but there is a cost to doing it. You have to have the right people. You have to have the right capabilities, and they need to work well together seasonally and like functionally. So going through the back half of the year, we hit on the recruiting part of it, and I've screwed that up for way too long. Just waiting too long to get things going. A similar thing I messed up was when we started doing Holiday Lights. I waited until like after Labor Day to start going. And of all the businesses we launched, that was probably like the stupidest timing of a business launch. Was like, it was damn near October. And yeah, we like still scooped some up, but I guess the lesson for me would be like waiting too long and underestimating how long it takes to get things going, and like not doing a proper like Gantt chart to really figure out like how long is it actually going to take to launch this thing, to understand it, whatever the case is. Sean, Michael, Angela, do you guys have any experience with like doing that, launching new services and waiting too long, or are you guys all buttoned up on that sort of thing? I'm a terrible planner. Surprise, surprise. So
I have to leave in like 30 seconds, so I'll go first.
Hit it.
Yeah. At the Conquer Summit this year, really awesome presentation by Roland, one of the founding members of House Call Pro. He's like, I don't know what the exact title is, but it's like the Chief Innovation Officer. Like he literally sits in a room with a bunch of people and just comes up with ideas and whiteboards it all out and everything. But he said something really, really powerful. And it's like, and everybody that's an entrepreneur has dealt with this at least once. I don't know anybody that's batting 1,000. And And he's like, you're not trying to bat 1,000. You just got to get one good one out of 10. And that one good one has to outweigh the 9 losses that you've had. So we've all made mistakes, right? You can start your service late, not start it correctly, hire the wrong person the first time, or just not know how to train the first time. But as long as you get it better the second time, or as long as you get one right and it outweighs all the other losses, you're going to be fine. And so that's kind of my mindset, especially after failing a lot of businesses or just ideas in general, is that it's not about the failure. It's about what did you learn from it and how are you not going to do it again? And then what are you going to do to set yourself for success in the future?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Good close. Now get the hell out of here. Your wife's going to be mad at you.
It was great to see you, Michael.
See you, Michael. Thanks for hanging, man.
That failure is a great one. I mean, to piggyback off that, like, but the great thing about like listening to this, surrounding yourself with other people, is you don't have to experience the failures yourself. You don't have to experience all those failures. You can learn from other people. You can learn from these lessons of us telling you things and stories of things that didn't go well for us and that we didn't do. Your stories are like, hey, we waited until after and it was mid-October. So you don't have to go through the pain for yourself. You can learn from others. But I would say it's that failure to plan. Like we said at the beginning, it is right now. It is not mid-August. It is right now to contact Sean, to contact Michael. Like you have to plan your marketing, start recruiting now, not later. And people just wait way too long it's like they turned everything off. That's the mistake in the beginning. They turned marketing and recruiting and everything off. And then they wait too long to turn everything back on. And now is the time. Like get everything ready now.
Yep. Yeah. And there is no, like, you might spend a few more dollars getting it ready. I'm gonna say too soon, but that's not even a real thing because there's no like too soon. You might spend a few more bucks getting it set up and like perfecting it, but you'll never regret that. Like it will execute, it will do what you need it to do. And kind of like recruiting that we talked about earlier, you're just always going to regret waiting a day too long. You're never going to regret being proactive, but you are definitely always going to regret being reactive. Like you're just going to get shittier results, and it's your business. So why would you want shittier results? Like it's easy to do. Don't get me wrong. It's easy for us to procrastinate and prioritize the wrong thing. And we're all busy, right? We're small business owners, so we're just out doing our thing and we're super busy. But we just keep our head down for way too long instead of prioritizing the right stuff and being proactive instead of reactive. We get sucked into the trap of putting out fires.
We've been doing the recruiting thing for quite a few years now. And I can tell you, we've signed up thousands of clients over that time. And I can tell you on one hand, the ones that didn't come to me that were literally in a panic because they didn't hire in time. They need 5 people yesterday. And it's literally out of thousands that we've signed up over the years, I can count on this hand how many were like, I think we're going to, need to get it going in about a month or 2, but I just wanted to, I mean, I don't know why that is. And we really tried to pound that home over the last few years. And I think it's slowly coming up, and we've done a lot of video testimonials to like really underscore. And those video testimonials are people smiling, they're enjoying their business, and they're happy. Literally, that's what the testimonial is. It's not Sean did great or we did great, because there's competition that does great for people out there. It's just do it. Whoever you're going to use, start it now, and you will be happy. I swear.
Doug Brown says, talking about getting Jai and I are doing the thing where we both clicked on it, and when we did it twice, Doug Brown chiming in says, talking about getting ready, I'm going to be chatting with Nikki about starting to recruit for snow help. Hell yeah. Now's the time to get on it. And again, recruiting is different than hiring. Doug's not going to hire somebody to help him with snow right now. It is July 10th, but now is the time to start recruiting for the people you want to help you with snow. And I've had people that I've recruited where I ended up hiring them way earlier than when I needed them, but very intentionally because I knew who they were. I had them in my priority list, and I was like, I need to figure something out for this person. I need to work this person into my business, and I think there's other places they can add value. And you just never regret an awesome person bringing them on the team and letting them run, right, and adding some value and helping you grow the business. Joe Devino says, I failed hiring more for rental businesses this summer. Much busier than expected. And here's the real rub, you guys. Interfered with his fishing. Unacceptable. That is unacceptable, Joe.
No.
Although it's still, I mean, maybe Joe, but I see quite a few Facebook posts from my brother out fishing. But there's always time for more. And as my old man likes to point out, time spent fishing and hunting doesn't count. Like if you only have so many minutes on Earth, like that's free time. It's like bonus time. So get your ass out on the water, Joe. Let's wrap it up there. We're at our hour mark. Show is over. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Be sure to check out the recruiting webinar series. The link for the third webinar, which is coming up next Wednesday evening. There it is. I just threw it on the screen. Click that link. Sign up for the webinar. You guys, if you're going to hire anybody, you got to check out this webinar series. It'll be out there for you to catch later. But jump on while we're live. Ask some questions. Dig in. Super cool stuff. What else do I got for you? Tonight, I got my guy Jason Guy on, who is a marketing nerd just like our boy Michael Gregory. Jason's just a goofball. And we're going to have some fun talking about what's going on in the marketing world and what's up with his business and what he's seeing in all of the seasonality things, kind of like what we talked about on the show today, but we're going to get a different perspective on it. We're going to see what he's up to. Like I said, he's just a total goofball, so he's going to be fun hanging out with and having a couple beers. So catch us tonight on the late night show. And until then, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn yourself some pride. Angela, peace out. And all of you listeners, peace out, dude.